So if you guys are anything like me, you probably find it shocking when you get even a little bit of honesty from people on Fox News. And I think it's because even they're at a point now where they're thinking, hey, Donald Trump, these tariffs make no sense. What you're doing makes no sense. It's not doing anyone any favors, and you need to explain this better. So I want you guys to watch this exchange between Donald Trump and Maria Bartiromo. First, you'll realize, as we always do, that he has no idea what he's talking about. But Maria Bartiromo also tells you what she's hearing from CEOs about these tariffs. And then I want you to come back because I want to tell you a story about my friend. He considers himself a fiscal conservative. He works in the private sector. He's in sales. And he calls me to give me intel on what these companies are about to do and how they're going to use these tariffs to raise your prices, and those prices are not going to come down.
You wouldn't have had inflation. We had record-setting inflation under Biden. It was a killer.
You
and
may
it's
get
one
it
of the
again.
reasons I won the election.
But you may get it again with these tariffs, right? I
You
mean,
may get
one CEO said to me, my input costs have already started to go up. I'm going to have to raise prices.
In the meantime, guess what? Interest rates are down for the last 3-4 days at good levels. I mean, you know, when you add interest rates, you're talking about it's gone down. I've been saying, let's get interest rates down. You know, nobody ever gets rich when the interest rates are high, because people can't borrow money.
So first he does what he always does. He blames Biden for inflation, and he says if he were president, we would have never had inflation, and yada, yada, yada. That's what he does. But then she says, well, you're going to get more inflation with these tariffs, and you heard him say, we're going to get more. So he's saying he knows inflation is going to go up because of his tariffs. Then she says, CEOs are telling me my input costs are going up. I have to raise my prices. And he says, what about interest rates? Interest rates are going down. What the hell does that have to do with us, the American people, paying more for goods and services because CEOs are saying they have to raise their prices because of your tariffs? God, he doesn't know what he's doing. So then, in this next exchange, she asks him, do you expect a recession to come around soon? And he says, I don't like to make those predictions, because the answer is yes. He expects a recession because if he didn't, he would just say no.
I want to ask you about Ukraine and the blow up the other day with Zelensky. Let me stay on the economy for a moment, because there are rising worries about a slowdown. You've got the Atlanta Federal Reserve saying we're going to have a contraction in the first quarter. Look, I know that you inherited a mess, and you said that the other night.
I've only been here,
but are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition, because what we're doing is very big. We're bringing wealth back to America. That's a big thing. And there are always periods of, it takes a little time. It takes a little time. But I think it should be great for us. I mean, I think it should be great.
Yeah, what a mess he inherited. Record job growth and record stock market. Yeah, it's a mess. And then now he's saying it takes a little time. It takes a little time in this period of transition. Gosh, I remember Donald Trump about 2 months ago saying, I'm going to get your prices down on day one. But now none of that is happening. But let me tell you the conversation that I had with my friend recently. So as I said, he works in the private sector. He sells alarm systems. He said that when Donald Trump first became president, they got an email that said, we're going to have to raise prices 10% because of these tariffs. But if the tariffs go away, we will lower those prices that 10% again. Okay, so then you had Donald Trump, who is very volatile, right? He's got tariffs. They take him away. They put him back. They take him away. Prices went down, according to my friend. He recently got an email that said, because of the tariffs, we're raising prices 5%. That email says nothing about lowering those prices. And my friend said, listen, because of these tariffs, they're now going to use that to raise prices, and they're never going to go down. And this is a guy who considers himself a conservative telling me this is messed up what they're going to do to Americans because of Donald Trump's tariffs. So yes, talk to your friends and family members who work in sales, who work in the private sector, and ask them, What are you being told about these tariffs? Because I'll tell you this, they're not being told that tariff is the most beautiful word in a dictionary. Period. Hey, if you like my content, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out the merch at leftlaughs.com. As always, I appreciate you guys supporting my channel.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.